Did you know over 80% of engine damage happens during cold starts? Worse yet, repairs can bleed your wallet dry from $2,500 to $10,000 or more for something entirely avoidable. Today, we're breaking down the silent cold start mistakes nuking your engine and how to stop them. Let's dive in. Number 9, revving your engine cold. We've all done it. Jumped into a chilly car, fired it up, and tapped the gas to wake it up. But little did we know, this does way more harm to the engine. You see, cold engines are like stiff muscles. They need a gentle warm-up. When metal parts like pistons and cylinders are cold, they're tighter and haven't expanded to their ideal fit yet. Revving forces them to grind and slam, like trying to sprint before stretching. This often leads to piston slap, where pistons strike cylinder walls prematurely, causing irreversible damage like scored surfaces or worn piston rings. Consequently, repairs for these issues can easily climb into the thousands. So what's the fix? It's simple. Give it 30 to 60 seconds. This idle gives oil time to circulate and coat critical components to reduce friction. By allowing the engine to warm up gradually, you prevent unnecessary strain and protect it from costly, preventable damage. Well, you might think letting the engine idle for a minute means you're good to go, right? Think again. Car experts warn that this common mistake could lead to shattered pistons. Number 8, not driving the car gently afterwards when you let the engine idle for a minute. See the temp gauge creep up and think, good to go. Well, the water temperature reading only shows the temperature of your engine's coolant, not oil temp, which is what actually protects your engine. Idling does warm up your engine enough to start driving, but it's still best to avoid revving the engine and pushing the speedometer too quickly. You see, oil stays thick and sluggish in the cold until it thins out and fully coats crucial moving parts like pistons and bearings. Revving or speeding strains metal on metal surfaces and could lead to blown pistons. And that's a $1,000 to $5,000 nightmare waiting to happen. To avoid this, after a brief 30 to 60 second idle, drive conservatively for the first 5 to 10 minutes. Keep RPMs low and avoid sudden acceleration until the oil has warmed sufficiently. By the way, your engine will idle at around 1500 RPM, which is completely normal if it is very cold outside. Number 7, excessive idling. A lot of people think warming up the car for 10 minutes is helping, but it's actually doing more harm than good. Here's why. You see, cold engines require a richer fuel mixture, prompting the engine computer to inject excess fuel. But when temperatures are low, unburned fuel can slip past contracted piston rings and contaminate the oil, a process called fuel dilution. This thins the oil's viscosity drastically and reduces its ability to lubricate critical components like bearings and cylinder walls, which increases friction and wear. Worse, idling warms the engine inefficiently. It could take 20 to 25 minutes to reach optimal temperature. Meanwhile, prolonged idling wastes fuel unnecessarily. In contrast, gentle driving for 3 to 5 minutes heats the engine faster and circulates oil properly. Up next is another cold start mistake that's super common and can seriously mess up your engine, even if you avoid the first 3 mistakes. Number 6, keeping the fuel tank low in freezing weather. That near-empty fuel gauge isn't just a being stranded risk in winter, it's an open invitation for engine problems. The airspace in a low fuel tank collects moisture from humidity, which then condenses and freezes in your fuel system. Those tiny ice crystals can clog fuel filters or lines like cholesterol in arteries, starving your engine of gas when it needs it most. When fuel flow gets restricted, your engine runs lean, too much air, not enough fuel. This stresses components, potentially causing misfires, knocking, or even stalling. As you might have guessed by now, the solution is very simple. Keep your tank at least half full when temperatures drop. This minimizes airspace for condensation while ensuring your fuel pump stays properly submerged. In other words, treat that quarter tank warning light as your cue to fill up immediately. We've gone over some serious cold start mistakes already, but the last 2 are especially notorious. It's because they don't just damage engines, they obliterate them. Number 5, using inadequate coolant, chuck, antifreeze. Many drivers mistakenly believe coolant is only important for warm weather, but neglecting your antifreeze mixture in winter can lead to catastrophic engine damage. When temperatures drop, weak or diluted coolant, or worse, plain water, can freeze solid inside your engine's cooling passages. This ice blockage prevents proper circulation, causing some engine areas to overheat while others remain frozen, potentially cracking your engine block or warping critical components. Even partial freezing creates a slushy mixture that fails to regulate temperatures effectively. Beyond freezing risks, inadequate antifreeze protection accelerates corrosion throughout your cooling system, silently damaging radiators, water pumps, and heater cores. So how do you fix the problem? A 50-50 mix of good quality antifreeze and distilled water will handle most winter conditions. Grab one of those little testers from any auto parts store. They're cheap and easy to use. Taking 5 minutes to check this before winter hits could save you from a nightmare repair later. Number 4, shutting the engine off immediately after a cold start. Starting your car for just a few seconds when the engine is cold, like moving it a short distance and shutting it off, might seem harmless, but it can actually cause serious damage. Here's what's happening under the hood. During a cold start, the engine runs with a rich fuel mixture to compensate for low temperatures. Shutting it off too quickly leaves unburned fuel in the cylinders, which washes away the protective oil film on cylinder walls and piston rings. This phenomenon, called bore wash, leads to reduced compression, diluted engine oil, and accelerated wear due to insufficient lubrication. Additionally, residual fuel can wet the spark plug, which could make it harder restarting the engine. Needless to say, repeated short cold starts will degrade your engine's components and increase repair costs. But what's the solution? Well, it'd be best to avoid starting the engine unless you plan to drive long enough for it to reach operating temperature. If you must move the car briefly, let it idle for 2 to 3 minutes after starting to allow partial fuel burn-off. This is only if you have no other option. But for optimal protection, drive gently for at least 5 to 10 minutes to fully warm the oil. Before we drop the final 3 mistakes, smash that like and subscribe button to help us keep these game-changing tips coming your way. Number 3, excessive cranking and repeated start attempts. We've all been there. You turn the key on a frosty morning and nothing. Your instinct might be to keep cranking or try rapid-fire restarts, but this common reaction can actually hurt your engine. You see, every failed start dumps unburned fuel into your cylinders. When this happens repeatedly, that excess gasoline can sneak past piston rings and dilute your engine oil, robbing your engine of vital lubrication. Mechanics call this fuel wash, and it's as bad as it sounds. It strips away protective oil from cylinder walls, leading to increased wear and potential compression loss over time. You're also putting unnecessary strain on your starter and battery with each attempt. If your car doesn't start after 2 to 3 tries, with 5 to 10 second cranks each, it's time to pause. That strong gasoline smell? That's a sign you've likely flooded the engine. Many modern cars can clear this by holding the gas pedal down while cranking. Number 2, pumping the gas pedal on a fuel-injected car at start. Many drivers who grew up with carbureted vehicles remember pumping the gas pedal before turning the key. It was necessary to set the choke and get extra fuel into the engine. But that technique doesn't just fail to help modern fuel-injected cars. It can actually make starting harder and damage the engine. Today's engines are smarter than ever. The moment you turn the key, or push the start button, the ECU takes over, automatically adjusting the air-fuel mixture for perfect starting conditions. Moreover, fuel injectors don't even activate until the engine begins cranking, and the system already provides a richer mixture for cold starts. That said, pumping the pedal simply confuses the system. Many modern cars interpret a fully depressed gas pedal as a clear flood command, which cuts fuel delivery entirely to prevent a flooded engine. At best, you're doing nothing helpful. At worst, you could create an overly rich mixture that leads to flooding, potentially washing oil off cylinder walls and causing unnecessary wear. The bottom line is, do not pump or press the gas pedal while starting a modern car in the cold. Let the computer do its job. If your car is well-tuned, it should start without added throttle. Number 1, using the wrong oil viscosity. Here's something most drivers don't think about. Your engine oil gets thicker when it's cold outside. When temperatures drop, thick oil flows more slowly, leaving critical engine components unprotected during those crucial first moments after startup. Consequently, this metal-on-metal contact accelerates wear and can cause long-term damage. For example, using a heavy summer-grade oil like 20W50 in freezing conditions makes the engine harder to crank. The thick oil struggles to circulate properly, causing oil pressure to spike while actual lubrication lags behind. This not only starves your engine of protection, but can even damage oil seals from the excessive pressure. That's why manufacturers specify different oil weights for different climates. The W in ratings like 5W30 stands for winter, and the lower this number, the better the oil flows in cold weather. A 5W30 oil will protect your engine far better in sub-zero temperatures than a 15W40 would. It goes without saying that you should always check your owner's manual for the recommended oil viscosity for your climate. Moreover, switching to the proper winter-grade oil before the cold sets in ensures your engine gets the protection it needs. That's all for today. Tap the screen for more content like this. See you in the next one.